At 4 something in the morning, my telephone at home rang. One of the young ladies who lives next door to us called and said that my mother's house was on fire. I went out, got in my truck, and the next thing I know, I was standing over on East Street.
Imagine living with the fear that an unknown fire setter might target your house in the middle of the night while you're sleeping.
Luckily that my husband was home, and he woke me up to tell me to get up, that the house was on fire, and I knew something was related to the arsonist.
This is the first season of Arson. In this podcast, we introduce you to the talented team of investigators who dedicated 22 months of their lives to capturing what some call the most prolific serial arsonist in American history.
Once we realized that we had a serial arsonist utilizing incendiary devices, D.C., Prince George's border, occupied single-family homes, placed at the area of egress for the occupants to escape, and in the hours of midnight to 4 o'clock in the morning, at the time when they're all home sleeping. That's when the commencement of the task force took place.
You know, it was a fairly busy unit. We were running probably 2 fires a day on average, and we were very short-staffed. And basically, you just had enough time to run from one incident to the next. I mean, from an investigative standpoint, it was very hard.
We're on 24-hour operations. You're 12 hours on, 12 hours off. If you need to sleep here, you sleep here. There's no talking to nobody. You don't tell your bosses.
You have to admit you don't know, because whether you want to admit it or not, you don't know. You only know what you know when you get the evidence for it. The rest of it is just assumptions.
They're lighting the fire, they're taking the match, and they're leaving. So you have to take all of these pieces and these interviews and the tips and put it together. And that's why I say it's not as neat as a puzzle, but it is absolutely a solvable situation.
Brought to you by the International Association of Arson Investigators in cooperation with ATF, we bring you the story of the D.C. serial arsonist told through the eyes of the investigators who worked 24/7 to bring down this elusive fire setter. Arson comes to you in January 2022.